Brace yourselves for another monumental update that redefines our understanding of interstellar visitors. When first observed, astronomers categorized 3I/Atlas as an ordinary comet, just one of countless travelers in the cosmos. However, this perception changed dramatically as the object approached our solar system. 3I/Atlas began exhibiting characteristics that blatantly defy conventional expectations associated with comets or asteroids. Its trajectory and behavior quickly transformed it into a truly enigmatic and shadowy cosmic object, seemingly possessing autonomous dynamics, almost as if it were alive or under some kind of remote control. Now, the story has reached a turning point. The James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, has recorded something that reason has difficulty processing, a type of structure on the surface of 3I/Atlas that evokes the image of a metropolis, of a city organized amidst the void of space. It's crucial that we unravel this mystery together and understand what this revelation means for our understanding of the universe and, perhaps, for our own existence. It's great to be connected again to explore what is undoubtedly one of the most intriguing objects in modern astronomy. Since NASA began actively studying 3I/Atlas, it has become a veritable celebrity on social media and content platforms. We've talked extensively about its appearance, its impressive speed, and its unconventional trajectory. What we already knew about it was remarkable. In addition to its unusual speed, it turned out to be larger than initially predicted, with a nucleus estimated to be approximately 5.6 kilometers in diameter. However, the detail that truly captured attention and sparked intense debate in the scientific community was the object's colossal estimated weight. According to the Harvard research team, led by renowned astrophysicist Avi Loeb, 3I/Atlas's mass could exceed 33 billion tons, concentrated in a relatively compact nucleus. This number is not only staggering, but also serves as a fundamental indicator. Despite the strong outgassing recorded in its wake, its monumental mass gives it unparalleled resistance to major deviations in its path. When comparing 3I/Atlas to other known interstellar visitors, such as the famous Oumuamua and Borisov, its distinction is undeniable. It is estimated to be 3 to 5 orders of magnitude more massive than its predecessors, a fact that establishes it as a true cosmic anomaly. The logic of planetary and celestial body formation suggests that, theoretically, we should encounter thousands of smaller objects wandering through interstellar space before encountering a colossus of this magnitude. However, 3I/Atlas is only the third confirmed and recorded interstellar visitor. Although this giant doesn't surpass the record holder Bernardinelli Bernstein, whose massive nucleus reaches an impressive 128 kilometers in diameter and weighs approximately 500 trillion tons, its presence continues to generate perplexity. For scientists like Avi Loeb, the behavior and characteristics of 3I/Atlas defy cosmological expectations to the point of opening the field for speculations considered by others to be unlikely, including the possibility of a technological or artificial origin. Despite the intriguing claims of Loeb and some other scientists pointing to anomalies suggesting an unnatural origin, NASA maintains its insistence on treating 3I/Atlas primarily as a comet. However, it is important to emphasize that the space agency itself acknowledges its unconventional nature, recognizing its extremely high scientific interest. Besides being the third interstellar object ever catalogued in our neighborhood, 3I/Atlas originated in a completely distant region of our galaxy and may be substantially older than any celestial body known within the solar system. In his initial analyses, Loeb was adamant that, given the available information, the object could be something more than a comet, perhaps a sophisticated interstellar probe sent by an intelligent, possibly hostile, civilization. Loeb even invoked the disturbing dark forest hypothesis to postulate that 3I/Atlas could be a ship, a hunter searching for planets to colonize or destroy. According to this frightening idea, the universe would be a silent dark forest, where all civilizations act as silent hunters, aware of the existence of others but never revealing their presence for fear of annihilation. This debate raises a fundamental and disturbing question: would we feel more relieved or more disappointed if 3I/Atlas were, after all, just a comet? For Loeb, such confirmation would be comforting, if tedious, news. Otherwise, humanity would face a monumental problem, confronting potentially superior alien technology. On the other hand, for those fascinated by the search for extraterrestrial life, confirmation that it is a purely natural object may be somewhat disappointing. In any case, 3I/Atlas remains a gigantic mystery, leaving several unanswered questions that keep it semi-hidden in the vast cosmic dark forest. One of the first anomalies that perplexed scientists was the unexplained change in the object's cruising speed. Comets and asteroids generally do not change speed significantly without external physical interference. This anomaly was the initial catalyst for profound questions not only about the origin but also about the possible functionalities of 3I/Atlas. If it isn't a natural object, could it be artificial? And if so, what are its purposes? Following the velocity anomaly, other unusual observations have come to light, such as 3I/Atlas's color change. Around September, the object, as it approached the Sun, took on an emerald green hue. This transformation sparked further speculation, with enthusiasts and pseudoscientists asking, was this change intentional? The majority of experts disagree with this observation and suggest that the color change is a natural phenomenon caused by the incidence of sunlight. This radiation may have altered the chemical composition of the surface, releasing rare elements from the core, which would cause the greenish glow, as reported by specialized media outlets. However, doubts persist due to 3I/Atlas's set of unique characteristics. A recent study of the polarization of the light emitted or reflected by the object revealed even more alarming data. Compared to other comets, 3I/Atlas demonstrated a unique and exotic light behavior, displaying a much more intense and profound negative polarization than any object ever seen in our system. The polarization data are technically remarkable. At a specific angle of 7 degrees, 3I/Atlas's polarization reached a record low of -2.7%, a highly significant milestone in astrophysics. This distinction is so pronounced that scientists suggest 3I/Atlas may represent a completely new class of interstellar comets, never before seen. And given the rarity of these visitors, we may never see anything like it again. However, this optical distinction brings us back to the most explosive revelation, the detection, by the James Webb Space Telescope, of a city-like structure on the surface or inside 3I/Atlas. If this information proves irrefutable, it is more than plausible to consider that we are dealing with something that transcends natural matter, something that suggests alien technology on a monumental scale. Using the advanced imaging capabilities of the near-infrared camera, NIRCam, and mid-infrared instrument, MIRI, the James Webb Telescope returned images that appear to defy the very laws of thermodynamics and cosmic geology. Thermal readings revealed incredibly precise and organized heat patterns on the surface of 3I/Atlas. They identified lines extending in narrow corridors, junctions meeting at perfectly right angles, and cavities with a geometric symmetry that seemed designed. These shapes are virtually impossible to attribute to the chaos of space erosion or random crystallization processes. Could we, in fact, be observing something artificially constructed, something deliberately designed? Initially, some scientists attempted to attribute these patterns to noise or interference in the telescope's sensor. However, the persistence of the data and the consistency of the readings collected reinforced the same disturbing conclusion: there is something within 3I/Atlas that refuses to follow the chaotic ways of nature. To try to comprehend what they were seeing, members of Webb's team converted the proportions of the patterns to Earth scale, and the result was astonishing. It was as if they were analyzing a two-dimensional map of city blocks, replicated in modules that suggested the use of a grid-like architectural logic. Nature, by definition, doesn't construct repetitive rectangles with mathematical perfection, intelligence does. And the discomfort didn't stop with geometry. The comet's nucleus emits heat, but in an irregular and, disturbingly, strategic manner. Infrared pulses emerged only at specific points, which were aligned with the internal structures. This didn't appear to be natural heat dissipation, but rather the thermal management of a functioning system, perhaps reactors, or some kind of propulsion. It's like inspecting an abandoned building where certain rooms remain mysteriously hot and active. Analysis of 3I/Atlas's electromagnetic frequencies also indicated the presence of hollow, shielded sections, which may be compartments designed to withstand vacuum and store something of great value. All of this has led Avi Loeb's daydream to be considered a viable hypothesis. If there is some cover-up on the part of the agencies, they have political reasons for caution. But with more and more astronomers and scientists conducting the same observations and studies without fear of taboos, the possibility that we are facing a living intelligence, originating from elsewhere in the universe, gains undeniable strength. 3I/Atlas is, at the very least, the frontier between science and the unknown.